All right, we got the second week college football playoff rankings. No really big surprise at the top here. You have Georgia number 1, Ohio State number 2, Michigan number 3, TCU number 4. After that, you got a little bit of a crapshoot. I'm surprised that LSU is as high as it is, Matt. And I think to make that work, they put Florida State in at 23 as part of the debut. I want to get your thoughts on that.
I mean, to me, if you're not within that top five, you're wasting your time being in that ranking because you're getting a participation trophy. Like there's nothing else. Ooh, like right now they're ranked at 23, but I felt like they should have been ranked earlier. They hit that 3-game skid, and it was like they fell so far out. And what's frustrating to me is that you have an LSU team that lost to Florida State earlier in the year, like had some other losses, and now it's like because of playing in the SEC, it's like immediately jump up to like 19 and then jump up to 12 and jump up to like they leap and bound so fast up. And I mean, look at Texas A&M. They lost however many games in a row. It was like they were still in that top 25 contention with 4 or 5 losses. It's like, how many losses do you need before they're finally like, all right, you're mathematically done now.
That's why I'm surprised Clemson is ahead of Mississippi or Ole Miss, because I think Ole Miss should be 9. I think does Bama have 1 or 2 losses? They have 2, right?
They have 2. So that means they should be like further down. They shouldn't be in the conversation.
They should be so they should be around what Penn State is. Penn State has 2 losses. I think Utah does too. So they should be around 13. I think Ole Miss should be 9. I would have UCLA above Clemson. Clemson doesn't look impressive to me, right?
But see, I'll say this right off the top. I don't think if you're a 1-2 team, I don't know that you completely fall way out of the rankings if you're playing, and I'll even say all the way down to LSU or USC at 7-8. If you're a 7-8 team and you're playing the number 1, like what we had with Tennessee being 1 playing Georgia, I think you get to stay within that conversation.
I'm surprised Oregon, they got absolutely throttled by Georgia. Like I don't agree with LSU being up there because Florida State, we don't really know how strong they are. I would think LSU would be done. I agree that they could be top 10. Maybe they should be 9. I think maybe they could be behind Ole Miss. I think they have to play. Or no, they already play. Ole Miss has a loss. I can't remember who it's to. But some of this is going to be evened up because a couple of these teams have to play. And to your point, the higher teams up in the ranking, like Ohio State and Michigan, theoretically, they might only have 1 loss to each other. And you could see 2 Big Ten teams make the playoffs. Because what if the Big 12 beats itself up again at the end of the year and TCU doesn't win? Because I hear a lot of people saying, well, if TCU drops a game and they're the Big 12 champ at like 1 loss, it's like, what if they lose 2? They're not guaranteed. There aren't any divisions. It's not like they're going to line up a cream puff. It's not like Ohio State and Michigan have to play each other twice, right? Same with Tennessee. Tennessee's done. They lost to Georgia. All they have to do is win the rest of their games, and they're right there. TCU loses. Oregon loses another game because they're going to have to play like USC or whatever. If USC, like what if Notre Dame keeps playing spoilers? If Notre Dame beats USC, are they really going to make the playoff? Notre Dame shouldn't even be ranked. They lost to Marshall and Stanford. 2 of the worst teams in the country, Matt.
Yes, I agree 100%. And I think just because you beat Clemson, like you beat Clemson last week, I say at the absolute best, if you want to be generous, put them at 25. They don't leapfrog everybody and jump into the top into the 20.
Well, like I said, with Florida State, we don't really know how good Florida State is. They're better than Notre Dame, right? Notre Dame's losses or Florida State's losses have been to ranked teams, haven't they? Then they only lose to 3 ranked teams, and they beat LSU.
Yes.
Notre Dame beat Clemson and lost to 2 teams that have no business being anywhere near the rankings. They should be out. It's pretty simple. Why isn't Liberty in here? Right? Liberty lost to Wake. I know Wake keeps losing, but you can't say, well, Clemson has a good win against Wake. That's why they're ahead of UCLA or whatever. It's like, is that a good win? Then why isn't it a good loss for Liberty, right? Liberty beat Baylor and a bunch of other bigger programs, didn't they? Or no, was that BYU?
BYU.
But then Liberty killed BYU, didn't they? So they
Yes.
should get a little bit of bump from that. I don't know. That's my main thing with it. I don't know. Tell us what you think, if you agree with it. I think we're going to see a lot of shifting later. I think they're just trying to get some teams up there.